I'll be honest, I really am feeling such heartbreak about what's taking place in the world right now. And it's that authoritarian regimes are taking over all over this world, okay? And whatever is left, a remnant of what's been democratic is gone out the window for the most part. And this isn't about politics so much, this sharing. It's more about acknowledging our shadow, our collective shadow, our individual shadow, and the reality of what transforms and the power of transformation. And that transformation is really about the inner work radiating outwardly through the heart, through compassion and care from wholeness. Okay. So what's being played out here is division. And this is something that we all need to take in some way or another responsibility for. Okay. That it's not by accident. It's not just terrible bad luck that we get the leaders that we have. Okay. It's unfortunate and but it is representational of our inner lack of unity. Okay, because as within, so without, right? So if the predominant collective is is not facing, if we're not facing, if we are not facing what we contain inside, our shadow, it's going to be on display and it's going to be showing and revealing itself on the outer because in truth, we share one common body. It's one great body, this whole that we are. And we have very thin filaments of connection that are of where the body is stitched together, creating this larger whole that we are living out. Okay, so it's not like it's just one person's problem or those people over there's problem. It's all our problem all over the world, and inequality, racism. It's hard to talk about all this. And yeah, I'm a spiritual teacher, but I'm also cognizant of what's happening politically to the degree that I feel comfortable going into for my own life. I don't want to be an ostrich, and I'm very sensitive and aware of the fact that what's being played out is a representation, as I said, of what is not whole, known as being part and one with the whole. Because then the display is one of separation and of division. And what happens then is we're easy to rule, we're easy to manipulate, and we are lost as a collective. That's what they call Maya, unfortunately. Maya is the dream that it's not conscious. Okay, that's why it's considered the dream. It's where we are unconscious and we're meant to become increasingly conscious and self-conscious. All right, so this isn't a bell that has just consistently for thousands of years resurrected and says, "Wake up, humanity, wake up, as within, so without." And this is what you get on the outside, because on the inside we are still playing out division. Okay. I found it, and I love this one quote, but it found within the Gospel of Thomas. And from what I understand, that's from the Nag Hammadi texts. Okay. If you bring forth what is within you, what you bring forth will save you. If you do not bring forth what is within you, what you do not bring forth will destroy you. So that's shadow work, okay? Facing our shadow. Facing our shadow is bringing forth what is within us. But it's not just facing, right? It's actually learning how to meet it, be with it, rest with it, and allow it to come back into unity from its divided nature. That's what shadow is, what's unconscious inside, and that doesn't come from nowhere. It comes from something that has taken place that is in the shadow. And as a collective, we are being asked to bring what's in the shadow within each individual and as a whole out into the light. And vibrationally, this disharmony that's taking place, it's a bell for humanity to wake up and say, hello, hello. Let the vibration of wholeness, of the universal, let come back home within yourself and live from that place, right? Live from that place, love from that place, care from that place. And a quote that somebody said that I just heard, and I don't know who it is, but I find it really great. We are hardwired for love, which to me is that we are born unconditionally loving. We are made of love. We are made of love. And we are unconditional love at our core. So we are hardwired for love and programmed to hate. So that's the conditioning. We are innately made of love and we are programmed to hate. And that's what's being played out is the program. And it's time to make what has been programmed conscious, what's unconscious, what's in the shadow, right? And help unify it through love, through compassion, and through learning how to meet what it feels divided inside. This is the work. And more people are doing it. It's called, someone else shared with me a new word that I just learned, interoception. Maybe you've heard of it. I think I want to do a whole thing on that one. Interoception is feeling from within, what's within, right? And to me, that's a whole journey of embodiment, of going within. And, that's the path of the yogi and the yogini and of the sage and of the, throughout time, the monks and the nuns, and throughout time, go within, be still, and know that I'm God, right? And have that knowing vibrate itself out. Okay. So the true way that reality is going to be transformed, how our personal world, how our countries, how our nations, how our world, the whole planet is going to be transformed to where we can actually live our potential, which is one of love, our innateness. It takes a concentrated effort and a willingness, right? A true willingness to take stock, to stop blaming the outside and us and them kind of mentality. Makes sense. We don't have to like everybody. It absolutely makes sense to me. And to know the difference between right and wrong. Of course. Of course. Of course. It's like, trust me, nobody gets off scot-free if they're behaving out of the laws, the laws that we are supposed to abide in, which is compassion, kindness, and love and goodness. Okay. But at the same time, to realize that what is taking place is what we've been handed to wake ourselves up and come to terms with the fact that this is what we have been containing within. And as more and more people are going within the interoception, going within, facing shadow, meeting what is here, helping make what's conscious, and bringing love and understanding what true wholeness is, the undivided nature, the universal. That as more people do that, it also vibrationally is raising up the bar of what's unconscious to come to the light. And that is part of what's happening. It's not just that we're all in deep doo-doo and this is the playing out of division. That's true. But it's also simultaneously true that more and more people are finding their way to caring and compassion and realizing that that this is too too much. We've reached a threshold, and that is so the shadow is more dramatic, it is more outrageous, it is more, it's come out of hiding. It's not so hidden anymore. It's coming out of hiding. And honestly, painful as it is, that's a good thing. Eh, it's not great, I understand, but at least it's honest. It's honest because that's what has been living within the shadow of humanity and the collective for centuries and centuries. It keeps resurrecting and coming up. How about now? Are we ready to face ourselves? Are we ready to tell ourselves the truth about how separation and division, what it creates, what it leads to, and the hierarchy and the division and the separation, and how much inequality on just inequality, which is painful, painful, painful to the heart. Painful, us and them, why some are in poverty and others have excess. And it's just inconceivable that this is what's happening, but it's just representative of what's here. And truth doesn't lie. That's why it's called truth. Truth is a continuum from the absolute nature of wholeness into the relative reality where we believe that there's a separate self. There is a continuum of how truth plays itself out. Okay. And it says, how about now? Can you at least tell the truth? Can you be honest? So we do our best, we do our best, and we try to stop being ostriches and have our head in the sand, imagining that spirituality is what's going to save us in the sense that I won't have to face the collective humanity, the pain body of the collective. This is the pain body of the collective that is being played out and rearing its ugly head here and there in your backyard or way across the railroad tracks over there or in that country until it's right here in your own backyard, home. It gets closer and closer and closer that we can't hide in the end from what's out of balance. And it's a call. It's a call from life itself to rectify what's out of balance, not to punish, but say, how about now? Are you ready to face truth? What's here? All right. Well, this is a little more fiery, a little more disturbing. You might agree with me or not, right? You have your own version of your ideas of what spirituality is supposed to give you. You might have your own version of politically what is appropriate and not okay. But one thing perhaps we can all agree on is that there is an immense amount of suffering, and that wouldn't it be nice if there was a way to be able to meet it? And there is. It's called reckoning, facing yourself, facing reality, facing truth, facing shadow, and learning how to just learn how to stop running away from what lives inside here in the larger body of the whole. And wouldn't it be great if we could just bust through this and transform reality, this reality that we've created, the Maya part of reality, not the liberated, unconditional, absolute nature of reality that has come and birthed itself here. And division has ensued because of this ability for us to be able to be self-conscious. It has led to the separation, right? But it also can lead to rectifying it so we can be awake, aware, self-conscious, where the mind is able to reflect on itself and not have created a hell on earth. And you know what? Even if you're living a type of heaven, which I do a lot of the time, inside and outside, if anyone, they say, and I for sure believe this and feel this because it's my own experience, if anyone is in hell, then a part of us is in hell too, because we share one great body. And there's more than one person in hell. There are countless animals, creatures, Mother Earth herself that's being neglected and sacrificed, and then lots and lots and lots of people who are needlessly suffering and going through all kinds of hell, war zones, starvation, illness, and diseases that is just unnecessary suffering. And that is something we all participate in through our neglect of the deeper understanding. And it's not to make us wrong or blame or shame or anything. It's more about let's rise up and face ourselves and wake ourselves up and look in the mirror and be brave and courageous to meet what is here, to meet ourselves in one another, to see ourselves in the other, and to know that we are one another, and that your pain on some level is my pain. And I'm truly, truly sorry for that. Truly sorry for all the pain in the world. And my participation, my caring looks like just in this moment, my caring looks like this. Honest sharing. Okay. I truly mean this. May you be well, and may all beings come back home to themselves and stop hurting one another, right? Stop the hurting within and stop the hurting without.